Ingrid Bergman, The Untold Life and Legacy. Hello and welcome back to Memorandum. Yesterday, we spent a few minutes looking at the remarkable life of Ingrid Bergman, her courage, her struggles, and how she changed Hollywood forever. Today, we're going deeper. Let's walk together through her story, her most famous roles, the controversies that nearly ended her career, and the legacy that still inspires actors and audiences all over the world. So friends, let's dive into the unforgettable journey of Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid was born in Stockholm in 1915. Her father was Swedish, her mother German. By the time she was just 13, both parents had passed away. It's heartbreaking to think about, but it also shaped her resilience. Her father loved taking photographs of her, and that gave Ingrid a sense of being seen, of performing before she understood what acting was. She won a scholarship to the Royal Dramatic Theatre School in Stockholm, the same school Greta Garbo once attended. And almost immediately, Ingrid stood out. Her big break came with the Swedish film Intermezzo in 1936. The honesty in her acting caught Hollywood's attention, especially producer David O. Selznick, the man behind Gone with the Wind. Selznick invited her to America to remake Intermezzo in English. What's interesting is, he didn't try to change her. At a time when studios forced actresses to get nose jobs, change their names, or wear heavy makeup, Ingrid stayed natural. That authenticity became her signature. Now, let's talk about the roles that made Ingrid unforgettable. Casablanca, 1942. Who could forget Ilse Lund, standing across from Humphrey Bogart in one of cinema's most beloved films? At the time, Casablanca was just another wartime drama. But over time, it became the gold standard of romance and sacrifice. Ingrid's performance, torn between love and duty, gave the film its soul. And of course, we all know the line, "Here's looking at you, kid." Gaslight, 1944. This is where we get the term gaslighting. Ingrid played Paula, a woman whose husband manipulates her into doubting her sanity. It's chilling, powerful, and sadly, still relevant today. That role earned her the first of 3 Oscars. Notorious, 1946. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock, co-starring Cary Grant. Ingrid played Alicia, a woman recruited to spy on Nazis in South America. What made it powerful was the tension between glamour and danger, vulnerability and strength. Hitchcock used her natural ability to play complex emotions, and the film remains one of his masterpieces. Stromboli, 1950, and here's where the story takes a turn. Ingrid worked with Italian director Roberto Rossellini, and not only did they make breakthrough films, they also fell in love. She left her husband and child, which shocked conservative America. The scandal was so intense that she was denounced on the floor of the U.S. Senate. Imagine that, an actress condemned by politicians for her personal life? Anastasia, 1956. This was her comeback. After years of exile in Europe, she returned to Hollywood and played a woman who may or may not be the lost Russian princess. The role mirrored her own life. Redemption, rediscovery. She won another Oscar. Murder on the Orient Express, 1974. A small role, but unforgettable. Ingrid played a shy missionary and won yet another Oscar. Proof that she could shine even without being the star of the film. A Woman Called Golda, 1982. Her final performance as Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir. She was already battling cancer, but her dedication carried her through. She won an Emmy just before her death, on her 67th birthday. When Ingrid left her family to be with Rossellini, America turned on her. She went from Hollywood's saint to, in their eyes, a sinner. Studios blacklisted her, the public judged her harshly. But she never let the criticism destroy her. Instead, she worked in Europe, in Italian and French cinema, experimenting with new forms of storytelling. Later she said, "I've gone from saint to whore and back to saint again, all in one lifetime." And isn't that the truth? Reputation changes. People can put labels on us, but what lasts is the work, the art, the truth we live by. Ingrid Bergman became one of the few actors to win the triple crown of acting, the Oscar, the Emmy, and the Tony. She inspired generations. Meryl Streep once said Ingrid's performances shaped the way she thought about acting. Cate Blanchett has called her one of her icons. And think about this. Because of her role in Gaslight, the word gaslighting entered our vocabulary and still helps people name psychological abuse today. That's impact. Her films are studied in film schools. Her image remains timeless, natural, radiant, real. And her life reminds us failure isn't the end. Scandal isn't the end. They're just chapters in a much bigger story. Friends, Ingrid Bergman's life was never simple. She had triumphs and heartbreaks, applause and condemnation, moments of soaring success and moments of exile. But through it all, she never stopped being true to herself, and she never stopped creating. Her story isn't just about movies. It's about living with courage, embracing mistakes, and knowing that every experience, good or bad, shapes us into who we are meant to be. Thank you for spending this time with us on Memorandum. Tomorrow, we'll continue with another unforgettable figure who shaped history in ways we still feel today. Until then, this is Nefertiti wishing you courage, inspiration, and the reminder that every stumble can still lead to greatness.